What's up, friends? Brian Tong here, and this is my AirPods Max review. This is one of Apple's most intriguing products in a long time, and this is their first true entry into the over-the-air headphone space. Yes, if it's their first, you know that I'm gonna go real in depth with this one, and it really should be if you're thinking about spending $549 for headphones. And I promise I'm not gonna obsess about that price and bring it up every time, but as I use these and evaluated them from the idea that I spent over $600 of my own money after tax, that's just a big deal for the overall majority of us, including me. And Apple, they did not send me a pair. I bought these on my own, and maybe that's why I reacted the way I did in my unboxing, because I just kept thinking when I was looking at them, are these really worth it for me? So this was really an opportunity to see what else is out there. And I'll compare the AirPods Max to the Sony XM4s, the Bose 700s, and then we're gonna take things up another notch and put them up against the $500 Bang & Olufsen H9s and then their $800 H95s. I learned a whole lot doing this. This is gonna be a long, detailed review, so guess what?
Hold on to your butts.
But I'm excited for it, and I'm doing something totally different because everyone describes how headphones sound and how they compare. Well, guess what? We all hear differently, so in this review, you're gonna get to hear the differences for yourself, and this is how I'm doing it. I've purchased what's called this. It's a binaural microphone, and it captures audio and mimics how we hear in the real world. I know it looks funky. It's got these ears on it, but it is amazing, and I'd recommend that you find your best over-the-ear headphones for this review if you have any or have any of them nearby. And when we get to that part, this is gonna be truly the best way that I could showcase the different sound quality and clarity of these AirPods Max compared to others and really allow you to hear the difference. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if anyone is doing this, and that's why I'm so excited about this part. So let's just get into it. And we start with the design and how these things look. Beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. And look, I love how the AirPods Max look. I love the design. I was already sold from those early concept leaks that we saw. These are retro, but they're still modern. They've got these just really nice curves and extremely clean lines. And when you see them, you're gonna instantly know that these are AirPods Max, and that matters to some people. I just think that they look so good. There are no Apple logos anywhere on the surfaces of them, and that takes restraint. And when you hold them in hand, they absolutely feel like a quality piece of hardware. You got the anodized aluminum ear cups. They're always cold to the touch. You have these metal telescoping arms that you can adjust the size, and they just have this perfect tension and tightness and resistance that is gonna stay in place that you just don't feel from other headphones. And then on top here, you got this headband mesh material on the top. It's softer than other headphones, and its ear cups also, look, these things pop off, they're removable. There's no plastic external parts on this at all. This thing is just a quality built product. I've been a Bose Quiet Comfort user for years and years, and then I finally switched over to the Sony XM4s. This year, I reviewed the Bose 700s, but I was not a fan of them. And I'm starting with this group of headphones for comparison because these are really the top noise canceling headphones, and it's the ceiling for what many of us have been willing to pay for in that $300 to $400 price point max. And I'm sorry if I left out any of your favorites like Sennheiser or Audio-Technica and others, but hey, this is what I have. Now the 700s, they look futuristic and their design is inspired. I love them, but that firm and tight headband just aren't that comfortable. Then we have the XM4s and the earlier QC35-2s. These are solid designs and safe looking, but their plastic headbands specifically have had durability issues, and I've broken them before. And yes, I know this is totally subjective, but look, if we're talking about the design and the looks of the AirPods Max, they're easily my favorite of this group. Apple's build and materials, they're just at another level here compared to these, but we still have to see how they hold up over time. We just don't know that answer right now, but AirPods Max, they aren't perfect either. I think that one of the things that happens a lot, if I don't put them in that smart smart case, and we will get into that thing later, these ear cups, they always just kind of like clang together when you put them down. When I'm holding them, they'll hit each other a bunch, and it's light, but it happens a lot. It happens all the time, and it makes me wonder over time if we're gonna have like a mark between, from these just hitting against each other constantly, right in this little point between them. I don't know. And I also thought in the design of this that this joint on the top of the ear cups would be a smoother ball joint, but it isn't. So when I pull on them and release them, it doesn't just conform, it snaps. It snaps down on your ears. So sure, it's a stronger fit. That helps create a seal when you put them on, but it's not a soft, light touch like some of the others. And the AirPods Max ear cups, they are magnetic. I love, like, you can just easily pop them out. They can be removed. You can replace them. You can swap out colors for $69 a pair if you want to be, a little styling, which I do. But I love the color options, even if I don't really love all the colors. Like, seriously, Apple, what happened to the green headband? That just killed it for me. Those are the ones that I wanted, but not after I saw that headband. The cushioning on these ear cups is memory foam, and it does feel like pillows, but the actual material covering them, this isn't a soft synthetic or lambskin like you might find on the XM4s, the 700s, but this is a firmer and harder, kind of slightly rougher textile that feels more like raw denim. Yeah, it has like this denim quality to them. So the ear cups, these are actually soft to push on, but the material that they use to cover them isn't. But then the trade-off for me is, okay, well, can they stay cooler for longer? I think that's one of the biggest things with these headphones. Are they more breathable? And in the unofficial BTZ Hot Ears test, the AirPods Max became uncomfortable to the point where I wanted to take them off after about 47 minutes to cool my ears. The XM4s took just under 20 minutes before I reached that point, so they get hot pretty fast, and then we all heat up differently, but I think that you're gonna find the same results. The AirPods Max keep your ears cooler for longer, and it matters. So we're also gonna have to see how that mesh fabric on the top of this headband holds up over time, but it stretches, it conforms your head, and I do feel like it is over time a lot better than some of the other options. Now the AirPods Max, they're comfortable, but these aren't the most comfortable, and you're gonna feel it over time because these are absolutely the heaviest headphones of this group, and I've talked about this before. The AirPods Max weigh over 384 grams. That's a whole lot. The 700s and the XM4s, those are 254 grams, and you have the QC35-2s, those are at 233 grams. Basically, just add on half the weight of the XM4s or the 700s to their current weight, and you get the weight of the AirPods Max. And when you try all these on, you're gonna feel the weight of this instantly. Even over time, I felt like the weight of the AirPods Max, they feel pretty decent, like I said before, but over time, the weight of this caused the earpads to kind of just slowly but surely sink down a bit from that weight. And these aren't uncomfortable, trust me, there's a whole lot worse than them, but they aren't the most comfortable out there. And it's just hard to really top that light, feathery feel of the QC35-2s. That still, to me, remains the benchmark for the most comfortable noise-canceling headphones that I have ever had. And for me, AirPods Max are easily more comfortable than the tighter and rigid Bose 700s. This headband, the tension on it just kills it for me, but they aren't as comfortable as the XM4s. They definitely can't compare with the QC35-2s, but they will keep your ears cooler for longer. All right, let's get to the main event, the thing that I've been hyping up. And if we're talking headphones, we have to talk about their sound quality. And this is where you at home are gonna be able to hear some of these differences, and I am juiced for this. So get your over-the-ear headphones on standby if you aren't wearing them already, and we're gonna put them on really soon. If your headphones have the ability to connect them with a wire, I strongly suggest you do that. But let me set up how we're gonna do this so you know exactly what is happening, and this will take a little time to explain, but trust me, it's worth it. Now, the device that I'm gonna use to capture the sound from these headphones is this right here, the high-quality binaural microphone from 3DO. It's called the FreeSpace XLR. It has two matched high-sensitivity microphone capsules, one for each ear, and that records omnidirectional audio, so that is just everything around it. And it's designed with flexible rubber ears because this is how we collect sound, and yes, every ear is different, but when sound comes in, it bounces off all the curves and surfaces of your ears to collect the sound, and it just shapes how you hear it before it goes into your ear. The audio from each ear is recorded separately with each mic inside, and then it's gonna be output for recording via two XLR outputs, one for each ear. Even fancy surround sound systems that showcase 5.1, 7.1, and Dolby Atmos, they can't replicate the organic way that binaural recordings sound. So you just need these two mics that can simulate what it sounds like to the human ear, and the FreeSpace XLR is really the heart of this experience. Now let's talk about the setup. For each headphone that we use, I'm using a hard wire connection directly from the headphone and then into the headphone jack of this MacBook Pro. For AirPods Max, it's an Apple Lightning to a 3.5 millimeter cable, and you have to use Apple's. Many third-party ones do not work because Apple. And for all the other headphones, it's the standard 3.5 millimeter audio jack cable connection. Now, the AirPods Max also don't have a headphone jack, but we expected that because Apple. Now, I'll be playing songs that have been downloaded to the MacBook Pro's hard drive from the website Epidemic Sound. These are WAV files from different genres of music at 48 kilohertz sample rate and 24 bits per sample. I'm not streaming anything, and I'm not using Bluetooth 5.0 to at least give you all the best chance to hear these subtle differences for yourself. I'm also using the default sound profile from each headphone. There are equalizer settings and sound profiles that you can select to customize the sound throughout the apps that many of these headphones have, and you can put them to your liking, but we're gonna showcase exactly what you get when you listen to these headphones with their normal default sound profile without tweaking them at all. Now, the audio is gonna play into the headphones, and then they are captured by the binaural microphones. That audio is then sent through these two XLR cables that go into my H5 Zoom recorder. I'll then use the recordings for the right ear and the left ear, bring them into my video editing software. I'm not doing any sweetening or adding special panning that is dynamically changing this. The audio I directly record is the audio that you're gonna hear. I'm just putting the recordings in the timeline, and one is gonna be assigned to the right, one is gonna be assigned to the left, and I'm making sure that the audio levels are balanced. Now, I know this isn't going to sound exactly like hearing music directly from the headphones, but these recordings are coming directly from the source, and this method gives you all at home the best way to hear the tone, clarity, and sound quality from each of these headphones for yourself. The differences, they can be real subtle. I like closing my eyes when I listen, but many of you will be able to tell the difference if you're listening carefully with over-ear headphones. To get the best results, you should use headphones with a wired connection. And it's gonna be a whole lot harder to interpret this sound over your built-in computer speakers or earbuds. If you're watching this on a big screen through your standard TV speakers and even your home theater systems, you're gonna likely have a harder time distinguishing the differences. So I just strongly recommend that you're using over-the-ear headphones if you can, and if you have any, otherwise the details won't come out the same. And I know you're thinking, this isn't gonna work. And I know I'll see the comments from people saying that this is total BS, or hey Brian, it don't work. But for those of you that can actually hear the differences and enjoy this, I really hope you comment as well. But I think you're gonna be really surprised, and I just really wanted to take this review to that next level. I think you deserve it. So let's just do a fun test here right now for you to experience a little bit of what the binaural mic is capable of. I'm gonna give you a moment to put on your headphones, okay? Or you could just pause this and go get them if you haven't already.
It's time for a demo.
Okay, everyone, so right now what you're hearing, this is audio recording from the binaural mic, and I know it might sound kind of weird because I'm actually talking behind you, I'm not in front of you. So this might look weird, but it's gonna make sense because we're reversed at the moment, but I can start moving over here and saying hi to you in your right ear, and hey guys, this is me talking to you in your right ear. Hello there, Mr. Right, you good? Okay, so then I'm gonna kind of move back behind you. I'm gonna go a little further. Can you all still hear me? You can hear me, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna creep over on this side. I'm gonna get a little closer. Hey, can you hear me on your left side? Yeah, you can hear me on your left. Hi there, little Miss Lefty. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back here to the back. And look, if that didn't work, your headphones were either on backwards or we are just totally screwed, but that's a direct recording from the FreeSpace XLR. All right, that demo's over, so let's just get to this first comparison. We're gonna do the AirPods Max and the Sony XM4s. I'm gonna play clips of songs from different genres and then tell you what you hear afterwards. You can always go back and play it again to see if you heard the same thing that I did, but just listen for the differences in the highs, the mids, and the lows. And for a little quick sound 101, the highs are the treble tones that are what gives us a lot of the detail and clarity in headphones. The mids are where a lot of really the magic happens. It's the heart of the sound, and you'll find vocals and voices in this range, and that's where audio gets a lot of its presence. So if the audio sounds off or distant, it's because typically the mids are not that strong. And then we got the lows, that's the bass, that brings the oomph, those deeper sounds, and it's in a lot of popular music, but it can be overdone as well and can make the sound muddier and not as clean. And really, all three of these components matter when listening to audio. And again, this is all gonna be recorded directly from inside the headphones using this binaural mic. Different headphones will also tend to excel with different genres of music too, so get ready.
It's time for the binaural experience.
price me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo. Please, no photos. G's, no. Please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a way till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up.
Tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice. That's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell your mama. I tell your papa too.
So guys, what did y'all think? Did that work for you? I mean, are you freaking out right now? Like, could you pick out any differences? I really hope that worked for you because what I instantly noticed is that the AirPods Max, they just have a super clear separation of sound. The sound is really clean and defined, and you can hear the distinct differences between the highs, the mids, and the lows compared to the XM4s here. And the thing is, I've been in love with the XM4s for the longest time, and I liked how they output nice mids and bass at their price point. But then when I compared them side by side for the first time with the AirPods Max, you can hear that the XM4's mids and lows, they're actually strong, but they're also muddier, and things just aren't as sharp and as defined. My ears have told me the longest time that the XM4s were the best in their class and at that $350, $400 level because I liked fuller sound. I listened to a little pop and hip hop, but the AirPods Max sounded superior to the XM4s in every way across all genres of music I listened to. And look, you can always go back and listen to the samples again for yourself. I knew the AirPods Max sounded good when I first heard them just on their own, but once you do this side by side, you can really hear the difference. And this was like night and day for me. And the reality is that we all hear differently. Audio is subjective, and you might agree or disagree with what I heard. And you also might have a preference for sound that has more bass or less bass, but my hope is that you could at least hear some of their differences. Put your thoughts in the comments. I really want to see them. And again, instead of me saying, oh, this sounds great, you could actually hear this for yourself. Are you not entertained? I'm trying for y'all, all right? Now, next up is the AirPods Max versus the Bose 700s. It's time, once again,
for the binaural experience.
To make it right, to follow through, it's up to us. I don't know what to do. To make it right, to follow through, it's up to us. So won't you give me your emotions? You've been hiding them for way too long. Don't know what it'll set in motion, but sometimes you've got to risk it all.
welcome back. Now, what I noticed again is the absolutely clean separation of sound on the AirPods Max. This is a solid presence, great highs, mids, and lows again. There's just so much detail in the sound. The Bose 700s, they tend to focus more on the mids and highs, and they really shine with classical music or classic rock, but their lows do not have substance really at all. And after this comparison, I'd take the AirPods Max over the Bose 700s for audio quality as well. Bose put out a software update in 2020 that finally lets you tweak the sound profile after all these years. It lets you turn up the bass on your headphones for the very first time. But again, Sony's always had great sound profiles as well. They both let you do that. But look, we are sticking with the default sound profiles from each of these headphones that we're testing. Based on hearing these three for myself and comparing, and hopefully the demo really captured some of this for you to interpret on your own. For me, the AirPods Max had a better separation of sound, more detail, great mids, highs, and lows compared to both the XM4s and the Bose 700s. I feel like the AirPods, they took the highs and the mids of Bose, then they took like the mids and the lows of the XM4s, kind of blended them together, increased the sound profile, the definition, the clarity to make it own. It's like they took the best of both worlds and then made them even better, giving them superior sound over both of these. And I'm not saying that this is a $549 that you should instantly do. That's gonna be for you to decide. But the sound from these headphones is absolutely better than these two flagship noise canceling headphones that have really been the cream of the crop at their level and at their price point. When we learned that AirPods Max were first selling for $549, I was hoping that they would sound better. But now that they actually do, it's just impressive to hear the results. Their adaptive EQ adjusts the low and mid frequencies in real time based on how AirPods Max fit and seal around your ear. That's a unique feature that only a handful of headphones even have at this level, but I can't deny that the proof was in the sound. And let's kind of stop this narrative of these headphones, the AirPods Max, are targeting audiophiles, because they aren't. Audiophiles are using headphones that cost thousands of dollars, that exclusively use an expensive cable and then connect to a digital to analog converter and an amp at the highest level. But what I think Apple is really trying to do here is introduce the general consumer who they cater to like another level of audio and build quality that they aren't familiar with. So Apple wants to be that company that people are thinking of when they think of higher quality audio, because for the longest time, that $300 to $400 price point has been the absolute highest that I would ever go for a noise canceling headset like the Sony XM4s. And let's be real, you can find amazing headphones for that price and even cheaper. You don't need $550 headphones. You don't need even $300, $400 headphones either. You just don't. And Apple's AirPods Max is trying to create this next step up that people haven't even thought about, because it is $549. But if you stack up their design, their build quality, and sound quality compared to the XM4s and the Bose 700s, the AirPods Max, they're not perfect, but after seeing them, feeling them, and hearing them, they're absolutely that next level up from these headphones. And I'm still, again, not saying that they are worth $549 to you, because that's really subjective. But at the very least, their build quality, their sound, it outperforms my Sony XM4s and Bose 700s. They don't have to convince me of that anymore. And I didn't even compare their features yet, but with those core aspects of headphones, the AirPods Max are definitely at that next level. Okay, so let's go to that next step up. And there have always been headphones in that $500 tier, but many of us never look seriously at it or even consider it. Some of you have, but look, most of us absolutely have not. Bang & Olufsen is that next step up audio that has been around for just years, with quality headphones in that $500-ish and higher tier range. So when I asked many of you in my previous videos, you suggested that I compare Apple's AirPods Max to Bang & Olufsen headphones. So I picked up a pair of the $500 Beoplay H9 third generation wireless noise canceling headphones, and then their even more premium $800 Beoplay H95s. And their designs are similar-ish, but they're also different. Again, design is going to be subjective. The Beoplay headsets both incorporate a more classic headphone design. I still prefer the AirPods Max personally. I just think they're super elegant, but the Beoplay H95s, these specifically are classy AF, and they really take the design level and materials up another notch versus the H9s. The adjustable metal headband might have inspired Apple some, but Apple's is a lot smoother, a lot higher quality compared to both of these. Comfort-wise, both of the Beoplay headbands, they're really stiff. They actually feel like hard pieces on top of your head. I really don't like it. And the AirPods Max are just more comfortable. Now for comparing weights, again, the AirPods Max come in at just over 384 grams. The Beoplay H9s are 285 grams, and then the higher tier H95s are closer to the AirPods Max in weight at 323 grams. Now, if we go to BTZ's Hot Ears test,
Hot ears!
the H9s get uncomfortable around 36 minutes before I needed to take them off for a break, and then the H95s, they get warm and uncomfortable around 31 minutes before I had to take them off. So they're basically about the same as the H9s. Now, again, the AirPods Max came in around 47 minutes, and they generally were able to keep my ears cooler. Maybe the larger size of the ear cups has something to do with it, and better airflow. Also the materials, although not the softest, that factors into as well. But I just really dislike how hard the headband is on both of the Beoplay headphones. It just feels, I don't want to say it's like a brick, but it's stiff, it hurts. And I just also want to quickly point out the battery life on these AirPods Max, 20-hour battery life. H9s have 25-hour battery life with Bluetooth on, and then the H95s have a 38-hour battery life with Bluetooth on. But let's get to the listening. All these three headphones have their own 40mm drivers to push out their sound. So look, let's first compare the H9s and the AirPods Max. Put on your headphones. It's time
For the binaural experience.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there.
So this one might not have been as easy. Was that hard for you? I don't know what you were able to hear, but at this level, the H9s and the AirPods Max, they're pretty close to each other. At times, it was hard to tell the difference for me. Both have great separation. Really, again, well-defined high, mids, and lows at this level. I had to listen multiple times sometimes, but I did find when I listened super, super carefully, I found the vocals on the AirPods Max to be just slightly cleaner and sharper than the H9s. And then also the AirPods Max, they're able to reach a higher maximum volume level if that matters to you. Both of these headphones have legit rumble. Like when you hit the bass, it's so good at their highest volume levels. Neither of them break down or distort. The bass sounds so clean and the audio experience is just really great from both of these. Again, this isn't exactly like listening directly with the headphones for you, but from my experience, this validates that Apple's audio quality deserves to at least be in the discussion on the same level, if not maybe slightly better than Bang & Olufsen's $500 H9s. But then when I started digging deeper into the H9s, there are a few things to point out. These don't come with a hard case of any kind, just a headphone drawstring bag. So I guess that at least protects the entire headphone, but not by much more than the AirPods Smart Clutch. Case. The touch controls could be great because you can adjust the volume level by just rotating your finger around in a circle intuitively, forwards or backwards, but touch controls aren't responsive. Just even tapping for pause and play, that's gonna be hit or miss on the H9s. But the biggest killer for me at this level, the H9s are noise canceling headphones, and they also have a transparency mode that lets you hear the outside world. We know about transparency mode, but for whatever reason, you cannot listen to music at all while being in transparency mode. So there's no way that I found or read to listen to music while in transparency mode on the H9s. It's really more of an attention mode to hear the outside world or talk to someone. That's a feature to me that pretty much all the top tier noise canceling headphones have that I've used. I use it when I go to coffee shops. AirPods Max also, they sound great whether I'm using these in the Apple ecosystem or not. And you actually can use AirPods Max on non-Apple devices and sync them over Bluetooth. Side by side with the H9s, design-wise, that's always gonna be a personal preference. But again, from what I've heard and the overall package, I'm gonna take the AirPods Max over the Beoplay H9s in comfort, in sound, and features, even without the Apple ecosystem benefits. That's just like icing on the cake. And again, I'm not gonna say that these are worth $549 to you, but throughout this whole experiment, they've just continually been creeping up to at least be in the discussion with the top headphones in this $500 class, which I never expected. Now, let's take this up one more notch, and now we gotta compare them with the Beoplay H95. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, put on your headphones.
It's time for the binaural experience.
You don't wanna talk, but there's a battle in my heart, and no thoughts keep on running wild. Is it possible you sleep with someone else between your sheets, and is she laying on my side? If you look in those eyes, baby, do they make you lose gravity? Like you would hold on for so long looking at me. Look in those eyes, baby, are you forgetting our history? Or does the voice inside your mind recall that way? We were kids that didn't know, but we grew to solid gold. In the night, you and I, not long ago, laid in bed without our clothes, together keeping up the cold. In the night, you and I, not long ago, not long ago. Lightning strikes by my window. Hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and so
At this level, I found it extremely hard to tell the difference. I could easily pull out differences from the XM4s and Bose 700s versus the AirPods Max, but we're really like at another level now. Sometimes after multiple listens, I thought either headphone hit the bass cleaner and harder. Classical music in the highs and mids were also like a dead heat for me. The only difference is that, again, the AirPods Max had the ability to hit a slightly higher maximum volume level, but there was no degradation of sound at the max levels for either headphones, if that matters to you, but I'm never listening on the maximum level. The H95s have better sound than the H9s with better sensitivity and impedance according to Bang & Olufsen themselves. And you can tell that these were better because it was just really, really hard to pull out big differences this time. Now, H95s incorporate a mix of touch controls and physical controls. You can tap for pause, play, and track, which can still be hit or miss and delayed, but I love the physical turn dials on each side that have this great feel and accuracy to them. The right side is volume level. The left side is controlling the noise cancellation levels. They're big, and I don't have to find like a little digital crown. I prefer these controls, quite honestly, over the AirPods Max for volume control. You can also listen to music while in transparency mode on the H95s, unlike the H9s. And then the H95s also come with this stylish and sturdy aluminum case, and they fold up to be more compact. Now, these are $800 headphones, and I'll never own a pair that expensive, but design-wise, audio quality, and features-wise, the AirPods Max are really now competitive with Bang & Olufsen's top-tier H95 noise-canceling headphones that retail for $800. At this point, I can't say that there's a clear, standout, better headphone between these two. It's going to really more come down to your preference of build, style, and features. So I really hope that these comparisons and this whole like binaural experience just helped you out. I wanted to do it. It was fun. It was the first time I've ever tried anything like that. And you got to let me know what you thought or if it was a success or not. And hopefully, I can use them in future reviews. I just really want to give you all an idea and experience of where the AirPods Max fit into the landscape of headphones with your own ears to let you decide. And I've learned a ton about them myself just doing this review. All right, if you made it this far, congratulations. But we aren't even done yet because we got to talk about the AirPods Max features. So let's start with its physical controls. And there are only two buttons, one for switching between noise cancellation and transparency mode. That's on the top front area. That lets you hear the outside world. The noise cancellation here is great, and it won't completely get rid of everything, but once you play any kind of music, you're just like instantly lost in your own world. And it's on the same high level as other headphones like Bose and Sony. Now, we also have transparency mode that sounds incredibly natural on AirPods Max, and it doesn't sound like a mic digitally processing the outside sound and then pumping into your ears like others. So I'd give these the edge over the others in that category as well.
It's time for the binaural experience.
And then AirPods Max have a total of 9 mics. 8 of them are for the active noise cancellation. There's one additional mic used for call quality, and then it uses 2 of the active noise mics to help it. But the AirPods Max mic call quality is extremely good versus the others. I'm not the type who uses over-the-ear headphones when I take calls, but for many of you, this is gonna be important, and it was actually one of the biggest hits, negative points that the Sony XM4s took. Its mic quality just wasn't that good for calls. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the digital crown placement. I would have liked them to at least be on the front side of the headphones before the headband, but I'm sure they put in the back for aesthetic reasons. Members of the actual AirPods Max team in an interview, they even said they tested touch controls. Apple normally doesn't talk about things they ended up not putting in there, but they said that they weren't good enough, and no one has been able to really truly bring a responsive touch control setup that are accurate every time, at least from what I've experienced. And if Apple can make true touch controls happen that work for the next gen, you know that I'm gonna be there. You'll also get Apple's ecosystem benefits like automatic switching that makes it easy to jump between watching or listening content on your Mac, and then let's say you got a call on your phone, it just switches over. It is smooth. There also isn't a faster, easier, and consistently more reliable pairing process than the H1 chip in the ecosystem. And then one of my favorite features that the XM4s have is when you take off the AirPods Max and then rest them on your neck or anywhere else. So you got them here, you put them here, they pause audio playback, and then when you put them back on, they resume play. The XM4s, this is, again, my favorite feature. So we've got optical sensors inside each ear cup. When you just lift one of the ear cups, they pause and resume play when you put them back down. I even try to put them like on the back of my cheeks and on like parts of my head. They won't resume play until they are over your ears. It's fancy schmancy. And I don't think that this feature gets hyped up enough, but spatial audio is just another killer feature that AirPods Pro users have experienced. Well, it's on the Maxes as well, but if you live somewhere, let's say that might be smaller, or you don't have space or the resources for a home theater system, spatial audio is going to be a game changer for you. It gives you a surround sound experience. It even tracks your head movement to keep the audio in place in relationship to the screen. Traveling on a plane whenever we get back to that point. And Apple continues to just tout that they offer the best audio experience out there. And I know it could sound real corny when they're the ones that keep saying it, but if you add it all up, if you're in the ecosystem, they aren't wrong. You just have to be a part of it to take advantage of it. Now, we aren't gonna do this review without talking about the smart case. We know everyone has their own thoughts on what it looks like. You heard it. You've seen them all. I'm still sticking with the booty shorts.
Booty, rockin' everywhere.
But I gave it a bad apple before I even had the smart case in hand. And now that I do, it's even worse than I thought. This offers little to no protection for a pair of $550 headphones when almost every noise canceling headphone, $300 and above, has some type of carrying case to protect their entire headphones on the go. I mean, I put them in here, you snap them down. Look, there are open gaps here near the butt cheeks. It doesn't protect the headband. It's flimsy. This is literally like a diaper for your AirPods Max. In fact, I think that a real diaper actually offers even more protection. And you know what else is crappy? So Apple told us that the smart case allows you to put the AirPods Max in an ultra low power mode to help conserve battery. So after running my own tests over multiple days and just look, I used the AirPods Max. I put them out on my desk without ever putting them in the smart case. I set them down, and after 8 hours had passed, the battery had only dropped 4%. I did another test another day, 6 hours, just laid them out after I used them, no smart case, and it only lost 3% battery juice. So they only drain about 1% of power every 2 hours that way. That is so minimal, and it makes this smart case appear even now more useless. In fact, the case doesn't sound so smart to me anymore. And there was a lot of buzz around this topic, but Apple has updated its support documents. So when you put these headphones down and leave them stationary for 5 minutes with no smart case, they go into a low power mode. So if you don't touch them, they're gonna stay this way for 3 days. Then after those 72 hours, they go into an ultra low power mode that disables Bluetooth and the Find My feature to save even more battery. Now, if you use the smart case, it will still have 2 different low power modes, but they are set off at different times. And you're wondering, like, how did I get this? It's the magic of video. And after 18 hours in this case, the AirPods Max will go into their ultra low power mode. That turns off Bluetooth and Find My feature to maximize battery life. Now, members of the AirPods Max team said that in an interview that the smart case was designed to be storage efficient and that this headband didn't need to be covered since it was built to be strong. Members of the general public said it's still absolutely useless. Hey, attention, Apple. These headphones cost $549, son. Like, we should get a real case with the AirPods Max. But instead, you know, accessory makers, they'll be selling them for about what, $100, and then people will end up buying those. So just add an amount to the eventual total cost of owning AirPods Max, about $100 more. Like, this is what happens when they don't have a single normal person from the outside world offer any kind of like real feedback. And I said it before I bought them, I'll say it now. Now that I have the smart case in hand, that's a bad apple. Boo! And they're lucky because we aren't really traveling, so if you get these, you can keep them around the house for now until you have to buy a case, or you can walk on the plane like, you know, you look styling like that. But on the other note, Apple has confirmed that the AirPods Max are not waterproof or water resistant, and they've told us to be careful not to get moisture in any openings. The headphones can be cleaned with a soft, dry, lint-free cloth or gently wiped with disinfecting wipes, but the wipes should not be used on the mesh part of the headband or even the ear cushion, so you'll just have to replace these once they get funky, I guess. But we know someone's gonna do the how water resistant are the AirPods Max, you know, video, or I dropped my AirPods Max in the pool and you'll never believe what happened next. Because YouTube. And another note, you do not have to buy or use the 20-watt USB-C charger for these headphones. It charges at the same rate whether you're using the small little cube 5-watt lightning power adapter that many of you already have from past iPhones. So there's no power adapter included in the box, and neither is a sticker. Like, for $549, I also wanted a sticker. That's a bad apple. Not really. But the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that these headphones do not have USB-C at all and still have lightning. I mean, did they really need lightning just so Apple could make it only compatible with their lightning to 3.5 millimeter audio cable, which costs $35 on Apple's website? You know, we have MacBooks, iPads, HomePod minis that exclusively use USB-C. AirPods Max is a completely brand new product in 2020 that's really gonna be readily available in 2021. And they still just did us dirty with a lightning port instead of USB-C. Okay, everybody, are you still with me? Dang, this might be like the review of a lifetime. After all of this we've talked about, the question is, are the AirPods Max worth $549? And that's just still a really high price for me to tell anyone that you should buy headphones for that price. Like I said earlier, this is that next level up for audio that Apple is really trying to introduce to the general consumer, and that there are users who have never considered it before, but now they will because it's Apple that's presenting it to them, and that is just the power of the brand. Like, this is Apple's first generation AirPods Max, and they are impressive. They aren't perfect, but they're extremely heavy for headphones, especially compared to all of the competition. They're decently comfortable, but they absolutely still need to lose some weight. These are also higher end headphones that have no headphone jack. And it doesn't surprise me. It's a battle that we're never gonna win anymore, but I still gotta point it out. And I think that these should absolutely have been USB-C headphones, especially for the future, but no, because Apple. And all those things, I lay them all out there. It won't stop people from getting them who really want them. And there's no legitimate case included in that $549 price tag. And me, as a user, that's what probably bothers me the most out of the whole thing. And oh yeah, they're also $549 before tax. So who's gonna buy these? Well, the hardcore Apple fan is, and if you're one of them, you're probably already have a pair and you're actually watching this review, going this deep into it while listening with your AirPods Max. I'm just gonna wait for those people who wanna flex in the comments to tell me that they're doing that right now. Okay, yeah. Congratulations. And I'm not saying you should buy them because $549 is still a lot of money compared to other options out there, but we all value things differently. So when someone says, is it worth it? That always depends on you and what you really care about, because let's be real, I know all y'all have some like weird ass hobbies, and I will not judge those either. Well, I might judge a little, but I asked my nieces and nephews if they would spend $549 for headphones, and they said no. I don't know, maybe they should be doing this review, but after showing you everything I did here and walking through this process of figuring out how they compare to other headphones, I don't think Apple had to price them at $549 no matter what the condition of the economy is in. But I also did not think that I'd be saying this before this review. Ugh. The AirPods Max are worth the price if you're willing to spend that money. They're also worth it even more if you're in the Apple ecosystem and if you're willing to spend that money. I really didn't think I'd feel this way, and I did not expect this. I'm not telling you that, hey, you should go out and get the AirPods Max right now, because I'll always find it hard to tell anyone that they need to go get $549 headphones. There's just so many other options out there. And AirPods Max, they aren't perfect. But everything I saw and heard and learned has led me to this point. I cannot wait to see the comments if you even made it this far into this review. But this review was a beast. My voice is like dying. I really want to give you all this true headphone experience and bring you the most in-depth review of the AirPods Max, even if it took me long to get it out. And I would just love to hear what you thought of this video, both good and bad. So there it is, the AirPods Max. Look, they surprised me, and they aren't for everyone, but if you have the money, if you're in the ecosystem, and if you want to get them, just looking at the competitive landscape, I can't believe I'm saying this, they're actually worth it. And they're even good enough that I'm going to keep the pair that I bought as well. Like, I can't believe I got there. Like, who am I? Anyways, the comment section is now open. Wow.